Good morning, sunshine. Hello, hello, hello. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope that you've been enjoying this 6 days of golden eggs. Today is day 5 of the golden eggs. And day 5, this egg is about truly being in a conscious relationship with money. Now, Erin, hi. Lotta, you're on it. Marion, hello, hello. Um, where was I? Where was I? I have it's a fun thing to be me because when facilitate, I facilitate from the energy. I allow what's coming through to come through. I might have an idea of where I might be going, a thought maybe. And then I just open myself up to what message wants to come through me today, and based on who's showing up, what is it that they require to hear. So as I went to talk just then, I had this I call it the traffic jam, the energetic traffic jam of energy, information, and awareness coming in like so let's see where we go today. So the the topic today is, will you let money facilitate you? And that is about having a conscious relationship with money. Now, some people don't give a crap's ass about having a conscious relationship with money. In fact, they're probably not listening to this series because potentially they don't want to look at it. And for other people, they just want to go make money. They don't want money to be, they don't want to actually go any deeper than that. And that's true of a lot of the population, right? Like a lot of population doesn't desire conscious relationship. They don't desire consciousness in general. So if if you just want to go make money, this probably isn't for you. It might be entertaining, perhaps, right? But if you uniquely understand that everything in your life is a reflection of you, then this is for you. And I think that money is the consummate reflector. Because it gives us instant feedback in a way that other things don't, right? It's like you don't always have feedback when you give your kids information. Kids, when you grow up, I want you to remember this. You have no idea whether that feedback went through or not, right? But with money, you have this instant mirror. I've always had this idea, and I think I will probably do it one day, is that I'd like to do like a really fun money class, like in Vegas or somewhere where there's gambling, and like kind of work through the energies, go out and gamble, come back, clear the stuff, go back out, and just notice the relationship changing. Because basically, when we're fully in alignment with money, when we're when we in dynamic harmony with money, then the life becomes an ATM machine, right? And we reliably know that money is going to flow from wherever it is, you know? And sometimes it'll flow more and sometimes it will flow less. We don't necessarily have control over that. Um, if you've gone unconscious, or there's something stuck in your relationship to money, then it'll be glitchy. Everything will feel hard, right? So money is a sort of this instant reflector of where we are. And that's what I mean by, are you willing to let money facilitate you, right? And how you're feeling about money in this 10 seconds, just check in and see how you're feeling about money right now, right? That's instant feedback, right? So it's like, oh, I'm mad about money, I'm scared about money, I'm bad, and it's just really a signal of like where you are with regards to money in this 10 seconds. So I also, hi Penny, hi Jody. I also find it really fascinating. This series has been wildly popular. Thank you everybody for participating. For those of you who are sharing it on your timeline, I just feel like this is a really important and timely message. But yesterday's video was like the lowest seen, the lowest shared, the lowest comment. And you know what? I didn't get any death threats, so I feel like it was a success. I really do. Because yesterday I really called people out on the aspect of the reflection that money is to our power, right? And if you haven't been watching this series, hello, you got to get caught up. There's 4 other ones to get caught up on. So I want to talk a little bit, I'm going to come back around about why money is such a potent facilitator. But I want to talk to you a little bit. I'm getting a lot of questions about the program because people are saying things like, man, this is like, you've already changed my money. Like, I don't even really feel like I need to do the program. I'm like, oh my goodness, I am scratching the surface in such a delicate way here, because to truly change your relationship, you've got to take that deep dive. You've got to see where this relationship was formed, what's being projected on it, what your part in is in that, and learning how to shift out of the trauma and I would say that, and I talked about this on the first live, that there's such a thing as financial abuse, and some of us have experienced that from our parents. I think there's financial abuse that goes on in the culture. I think there's financial abuse that goes on in this industry. Like, I've been part of some calls where people were literally shamed because they weren't investing in the thing that the person was offering. And like, what, are you not willing to be value in the world? I'm like, oh my God, I cannot even believe I'm sitting here. So click. But I think the worst financial abuse is the financial abuse we do to ourselves. So when you worry about money, when you get all head trippy about money, when you're wondering where it's coming from and how you're going to make it, and da 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 da, right? And when you're mad and scared when it's not there, and you're only joyful when it is what you think it's supposed to be, all that stuff, I would lump into financial abuse. And so one of my really strong intentions for the 21 days of becoming a money whisperer, starting December 29th, is that we leave the toxic relationship we have with money. We leave abusing ourselves with money, and we come into peace with money. We come into ease. We come into a symbiotic relationship with it. And that's, my friends, takes time. It's going to take probably years, actually. Everybody sort of looks at things like this as a one-off answer. But the truth is that this is one way, one tool, it could be the next step on your journey with money. And I think that about relationship courses, everything else. It's like anything you do, hiring a coach, it's like you're hiring them to get to that next step. And then guess what? There's another one, and another one, and another one. Having said that, I don't know of anybody else that's doing what I'm doing at the comprehensive level that I'm doing it at. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of bodies of work out there where the tools are energetic. And those are powerful tools, my friends. I love energetic tools. You guys know, like, I am an Access Consciousness facilitator. I love energy tools. And they're really important because everything is created from energy, right? And then there's emotional and body center tools. And I have deep training with those kinds of tools through my mentors, Gay and Katie Hendricks, right? So the emotional body realm. Then there's the spiritual realm, meaning that there's some times where we really need to just let go, to surrender, to connect in with source and with our source, right? And to really come into the spiritual perspective on maybe many things in our lives. There's mindset, there's really looking at, like, okay, how do you change your crappy thinking? Because that's creating how we think, and how we believe is manifesting all over, right? So mindset tools are really, really important. And then there's a time where you just effing do it. You just got to do it. You just got to take the action. And there's, mostly in the coaching industry, that's what people are doing. They're like lighting a fire under your ass, right? And saying, go do it, go do the thing. I can't even tell you how many sessions I've had where, the home play was, to make that call that you were scared of or whatever. And they come back the next week and they haven't made it. So I'll sit with them and I'll support them in taking that action, because until you take action, until you make new choices, not too much changes, right? So, and I would put universal principles in here as an awareness that actually kind of is a big umbrella for everything that I just spoke to, which is, ask and receive, abundance and gratitude, perceiving, like what you perceive is what you get, all of those kind of universal principles, and studying them deeply and understanding them really creates this sort of whole body of work. Well, that's exactly how and why this is different. Everything out there is generally focused on one or the other, right? So if you go to an Access Consciousness class, they're focused on energetic tools. If you go to a Hendricks class, they're focused on emotional body center tools. Do you know what I mean? It's like wherever you go, like mindset. Joe Dispenza is a great one for mindset and changing mindset. So you can go to different places for different things at different times. What's powerful about what I do is I am trained in all of those areas, and my job as your fearless leader, or sometimes fearful, but then being aware of it and making those changes or being with that, right, is to know what tool is required when and what's needed. So some of you may have done a lot of emotional work with regards to money, but have you done the energetic work? Maybe you've done the energetic work, but have you done the mindset work, right? So how do I, the way that I would say it is like, if you wanted to move your couch, okay, you can, rapid eye it yourself. You can pot and pock yourself. You can, you can think positively about it, right? But at the end of the day, unless you're really highly trained yogi and can lift things with your mind, you and or somebody else is going to have to lift that shit up and move it to the new place. There is just a time where you just have to do it. Like there's no energy tools, there's no clearing, there's no nothing. You just got to do it, right? And there's other times where it's like, it's so funny when I see newer facilitators, right? And by newer, it's sometimes even 5 to 10 years in, right? It's like somebody's like, I'm having such a hard time. Oh, well, how does it get better than that? And they're like literally overriding. They're trying to be helpful, but they're overriding this energy that's moving through that person's body and psyche that just got to clear, right? Like there's just time and place where it's like, cool, like feel your sadness, feel your fear, feel you're pissed off about whatever, And it's like, that is what's required in that 5 seconds. And for those of you who are already in the program, I have some good news. I realize that given what's coming through right now, that it's going to be important for me to do some more interactive. So I'm changing 2 of the lives into interactive Zooms. So you're going to get 3 Zooms in the 21 days, and then you'll get, let me do the math. Then you'll have 18 Facebook Lives and 3 interactive Zooms to really, I'm going to be using the kitchen sink. If anybody knows me, I have the kitchen sink. It's like, okay, what do we got to shift here? Is it emotion? Is it energy? Is it mindset? Is there an action it's just time to take, right? And you just use this entire group to support you in moving where you need to move. Like to me, this is shit or get off the pot time. And here's the deal. Like what I know, if you have not heard What's Your Personal Economy, please listen to that, because that's the most important thing. But if you have not changed your relationship to money, you will be at the effect of what this economy is doing. And we know for sure that it's going to be a bit bumpy. We have no idea. Nobody effing knows what it's going to do or how it's going to look, right? It's like, don't read all the prediction stuff. Like, it's just somebody's interesting point of view. But if you tap your awareness, and this is what I was saying the other day, it's not about having your head in his hand. It's like, okay, what's your awareness? Yeah, there's a lot of contraction around money right now. If you actually go into the field, don't go there for long, but you'll feel it, you'll sense it, right? It's like, oh, okay, cool. If you do not change fundamentally your relationship with money and really hone and develop your personal economy, your own relationship to the flow of money, you will be swept away in a storm of whatever the hell's going on out there. Because that's the way it is. If you're not tethered to yourself, this is true with connection to other, right? If it's like, if you're not really embodied inside yourself, you can get lost in another person. I, I'm still working on that one. So, it's the more that you can be clear about what money is for you and what it can do for you and what it can't do for you. This is one of the biggest distinctions we're going to play with in the program is most of us, here's a sneak peek, most of us want money to do something for us that it absolutely cannot do. So this is just a teaser. What do you want? What is it that you've been wanting money to do for you that it absolutely can't? And that's why we doubt it. That's why we're mad at it. That's why we're scared about it, is because it's like, you don't show up for me, money. No, money doesn't show up in your little controlled universe of how you think it's supposed to show up for you and how you think it's what's it supposed to do for you. Oh boy. Well, and why have we put all this crap on money? Hi, hi, honey. I haven't seen Suzanne for a couple of days, so hi, love. So why have we projected so much caca on money? Why have we done that? Well, here's the deal, and this is why money is such a. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, you know what? You interact with money on most days more than anything else, right? Especially this time of year, right? So you interact with money to buy your coffee. You interact with money to pay a bill. You interact with money with a client in the financial exchange. You put gas in your car, right? You like all of these touch points all day long that have your current energy signature of money on them. For most of us, we have more touch points with money than any other person. So isn't that interesting, right? And yet we don't want to think about it. We want to put it over here. We want, when I ask people why they want money, most often, the answer I get? They don't want to think about it. They want to make it so much money, and there's some number in their head where they never have to think about it again. Well, I promise you, if you stop connecting with money, the flows will not be the same. There's one thing to have peace with it, and I look at this with regards to relationship. By the way, we're going to do some really fun play with your attachment style and money, because whatever your attachment style is, you're playing it out with money. Yep. I'm not going to say too much about that because that one we're going to dive deep into. But so money is everywhere and we want to ignore it. Most people that get into MLMs, they get into MLMs because they want money to come in and they don't want to think about it. Hello. But just like in relationship, it's like, that's like saying, well, I never want to think about, I want my relationship to be good so I never have to think about it. What will happen to your relationship if you don't give it attention, if you don't give it energy, if you don't nourish it, if you don't put into it, right? Same is true with money. Now, when in the healthy attachment style, right? Which Suzanne and I were talking the other day, the only person we know that's even close to a healthy attachment style, it's her grandbaby Ruby. She's doing great. We're hoping, beyond hope, that we can continue to support that forward. So, but Healthy attachment is basically, there's some times where you have direct engagement and there's some times where you don't. But that person is always in your awareness. There, and maybe not cognitive awareness, but you know where they are. You can feel them, you can sense them. And that's where I'd like to take us all with money. I'm not there with money yet. I'm in process too. I am learning too how to change my attachment style to money, right? So why have we put so much caca poop on, hello, Nicole, on money? Okay. It's because money is connected to survival, right? If we don't have money, we don't eat. We don't have a roof over our heads. You know, Maslow's hierarchy, right? You know what? I recently saw an inverted hierarchy triangle, and I thought it was really cool. Like, so I'm not throwing that out there as the only model, but I'm just saying that at because money is connected to that survival energy, right? If we're not in right relationship to it and right for you, right? It's really hard to evolve. It's really hard to become spiritually advanced when you're always worried about paying the rent, right? And what I know to be true is that if you look at that hierarchy of needs, if you guys don't know what that is, you can look it up, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that money actually touches every part of that gradation. Because the people who are living self-actualized are contributing, they're giving back. They're not thinking about, like, where's my next meal coming from, right? They are in this flow of gifting and receiving. They're in a symbiotic relationship with money. It doesn't occupy a lot of their time because they have created a healthy relationship with it, and they're utilizing it for the good of themselves and the planet, you know? So it touches every part. So for a lot of us, we came into family systems. If you were the first kid, maybe your parents wondered if they would be able to support you. Maybe your parents were scared about providing for the family. Or you could have come into a very wealthy family, right? And, but then it was used to control. And so it gets kind of mucked up. Or potentially, maybe you had experiences growing up of having more than others, and then noticing when people around you didn't, and then you start feeling guilty for having. Like, we have all these intricate sort of loops and connections with regards to our relationship with money. It's really, really, really deep and rooted and twisted up in our personalities, even, right? Um, so that's why money is the great facilitator, because for many of us, money is reflecting back those primal early issues that we have never ever resolved and never got to. And so by actually using money as the facilitator, then you can actually look at things that you've taken on, ways of being, ways of relating in the world that don't serve you anymore. They're survival mechanisms. And as I shared yesterday, um, uh, for those of you who haven't done work with me before, when I do a program like this, me and the universe takes me through it first. It's like I have this thread and I have an inkling of where it wants to go and where it needs to go, and then the universe shows me. And so the universe and me uncovered a really gnarly pattern that's been playing out not only with money, but in all my relationships. And you know, I have a client right now. He's so cute, and he's come to shift sort of his relationship to himself, success, his sales career, and relationship. And he's like, I want to learn it with money and sales, so I don't have to bring it into my relationships so much anymore. And I think that was really clever of him, because in particular, what we're doing with money and what we're doing with relationship is, look at it for yourselves. I want you to look at it, how the way you do money and relationship is tied together. So, lots of juicy, juicy juice. And my biggest thing for you today, the golden egg, is will you start allowing money to facilitate you, to show you those early things, those early wounds that are asking to be healed? And the truth is that money will keep being in your face because it's part of the universe. It's part of how the universe talks to us and teaches us, right? Like the universe talks to me a lot through music, right? Because I love music. I listen to a lot of music, and so it kind of talks to me and plays with me through music a lot. And money's just something that is part of everything we do every single day. And so the universe talks to us through that. And we've many of us have taken those early projections that we have of growing up, and we've put it on money in this way that is really not so bueno for ourselves, for our bank accounts, or for our relationships. And we continue to hide out in the money issue rather than actually allowing it to facilitate us to a new space. And as I said yesterday, money isn't really about money. It's never actually about money. It's when you have stuff going on with money, something else is going on. And yes, there's some times where you just got to move the couch, right? Take some action, get out there, create your business, create your life, make some offers, like there's a time and a place for that, for sure, when we look at it directly. And we will be doing some of that. But if we don't get to the core, all the money stuff you're doing, the books you're reading, are simply rearranging the chairs on the deck of the Titanic. We've got to go deeper, people. If you're interested in conscious relationships of any kind with the universe, with people, with money, this course is for you. It starts December 29th. Holiday pricing goes through Christmas Eve. It's $103 off for a few more days. I'm going to put the link in here. I wholeheartedly invite you to not go into this next year not connected, not clear, not in your personal economy. I don't want you getting whipped around by all of the powers that be out there, and I want you to thrive in 2023. So please come and play. Thanks for your attention and intention, and as usual, I will respond to your comments after the live, and I'm so excited for this, you guys. It's just allowing this awareness and this information to teach me and to lead me and to heal me these last few weeks has changed me. Like, this is like a $9,000 program, not a $144 program. This will change. This is a game changer. It will change everything. It will change everything. And because when you change at the fundamental level, you change every part of your life. So is it time to give yourself that? Is it time? All right, you guys. We've got one more egg to go. Tomorrow is egg number 6. Let's do this. I hope to see you live, and have an awesome day. Let money facilitate you.